this might be a tough decision right now.
My team did
not just
absolutely
NFL games that were like,
Right.
whoa. I actually don't
Had
know.
a lot of mixed feelings.
Welcome, Disgruntled. We have another guest here on the Legal Domains.
But hey, so we went to a football game.
Oh yeah.
Game. Or
We can talk about that.
Yeah. Or I guess that would kind of like encompass like the Ravens and Colts like score.
Nah, we can talk about that.
Yeah. All right.
Let's start it off.
Let's start off with that because I feel like that's pretty like.
It's pretty cool. Pretty
exciting
quirky.
news.
Oh, I don't have a hat. I usually have a hat.
At least you got a hoodie.
Fuck. I'm sorry for loud noises. What do you want, Kalila?
She.
I just realized that if we put the burp suit on Timmy and then put the knife in his hand, it's stuck with a knife.
No one's gonna understand, and that's the best part of it.
I have zero idea what like the context that is.
I just really want to interrupt the podcast to be an asshole.
Gosh, Titus.
So
why do I even work with you?
No. I'll talk about what you want to talk about right now, here,
Okay.
right now. Okay. We went to Baltimore.
Yes. To see the Colts.
The Orioles.
Yeah. We're actually big Oreo fans. Like imagine like an alternate universe where we're just like massive Oreo fans.
I once got in a argument on Twitter with an Orioles fan because they were debating the fact that Colts still kind of celebrate like Johnny Unitas and stuff like that, despite him only ever playing in Baltimore. And supposedly a lot of the Baltimore players like denounced Indianapolis after they moved the team there. So they don't want them a part of their the Baltimore fans don't want Indianapolis to claim them as part of their history. However, here's the thing, is that this person came in like, name one time the Orioles ever like, I don't know, claimed someone from the history when the Orioles used to be in like Cleveland or something. And they were like, I'll Venmo you $100 if we can. And so I went and found like 5 different sources, sent them to them, and then they gave like these bullshit excuses why none of them counted. And I was like, oh, statistics don't count. You know, that's a part of the franchise. We can't do anything about that. But it's just like, what? Like, shut up. Yeah, I mean, you're literally calling them Baltimore Orioles, kind of. So.
Yeah. Dude, apparently we were supposed to touch the Unitas statue before we walked in. I saw.
I mean, I'm from the away team. Like, it doesn't really make sense if I were to do it. I feel like people would be mad if I did that.
Yeah, fucking riding. But I found a new respect and fondness of Raven fans because before this I absolutely hated Ravens fans, but I think I was basing that solely off of my dad's experiences, and I shouldn't have done that because he has Raven fans at his work that are annoying. I guess I shouldn't say that, but like they're never gonna watch this fucking podcast, but I'm like, oh my god, Raven fans are so annoying. Like I don't like Raven fans, but like all of them were super nice. Like after except for that one random dude, but like they were all
right.
But they were like all super nice and stuff, and we were like talking with them and like making jokes, and they were like heckling with us, like
it was a lot of good banner. It was a good time, honestly.
Yeah.
I think I was getting a bit like tense just because like we were being pretty rowdy when the Colts were up, and I just like I didn't want people to get like mad at us for being like overjoyous and shit like that. When we are the away team, I feel like you're allowed to do that for your home team. I don't know, that's just me, but because usually anytime I really go to any game, I just kind of keep to myself and I'm just like trying to enjoy the game personally. And like I'll talk to whoever's there if they want to talk, but I'm usually not like rambunctious like a lot of people that go to games are. Like that one guy was in everyone's face. Oh my god.
That guy, the guy who started the fight.
Yeah.
So like there's this guy, like I think he started to do it around like the beginning of the third quarter, but like when the Colts were actually starting to do good for like that one quarter, but he just wanted to pick a fight, so he chose this one Colts fan like a couple rows ahead of him, and the entire time he was trying to fight with him and his girlfriend. I felt so bad for his girlfriend because like she was trying like her hardest to like keep him back, and like he was a little bit bigger than her, so it was kind of difficult for her to like actually stop him. But like she was actually doing it really good, but like man, I didn't film it because like
That
Yeah.
whole fight from the NBA playoffs between the Suns and Nuggets fans, just like that's all I could think about, because I'm sure there are some like people now that at their home stadiums thinking like, oh, that's something I have to do to like stand up for my team. But like you can just like ignore lame away team fans, and like I mean if they're being like wild and like in your face and shit, like yeah, I guess like there are excuses to fight them, but just like trying to pick a fight for the sake of picking a fight is so lame.
Yeah, because like at the end of the like once the like the game was over, he like fought one of the Raven fans, and he was a Raven fan of his own, so I think he just wanted to fight someone. And then like it lasted for a good couple of minutes, and there was just a big like everyone who was sitting around, there was just like everyone watching him. But yeah, it was crazy. That was like the first, I guess we saw that one fight like a couple years ago, but that was like the first like real fight that I saw.
What
And
fight did you see a couple
when
years
we were
ago?
going to that one party. Were you?
Oh
or-
yeah. Okay. Well, I've seen many fights in my day. That was not like abnormal. The NFL is an exciting is at an exciting point right now, I would say. You know, we just got past week 5. And I feel like at this point you kind of get a sense of like, this team really is legit. It wasn't just like first couple weeks in, you know, they got lucky. Like everyone's played a good team by this point. If you haven't, that's I don't know, bad schedule. And I feel like every team has also played a bad team. So like if, for example, the Colts, they had a crazy stretch of playing good teams, but then they also got to play Miami and show like, hey, we can actually win one. So now we have a better feel of like where teams are at right now, and obviously things will still continue to change and evolve, but we have a good feeling of like who are the real favorites right now heading into the playoffs. People that we thought would do better, like Miami, we now know, okay, not really, because as soon as one quarterback, you know, gets injured, then their whole organization falls apart. Good to know. And I don't know who else. Oh, like Vegas, so much hype around Vegas originally, and now it's gone downhill. I mean, it definitely doesn't help that Jon Gruden resigned, but that last game, even with Gruden, was yikes.
Yeah, I mean, he resigned due to things he said, racial and other things and emails and stuff. So he just resigned, and yeah, he's just a bad person and a bad coach that didn't deserve to be in this league.
There you go.
But I guess we can start off with the first game, Rams versus Seahawks. I didn't watch this game, and we both didn't watch this game. Yeah, it's not looking like the Seahawks are as good as, or at least I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, it's been rough, and it's only going to get more rough because they've played 2 divisional games so far, and they still have 4 to go. And these last, I don't know, how many games are we? So there's still 12.
5, yeah.
Still 12 more games, and 4 of them are divisional, and none of those games are going to be easy just because of where those teams are at right now, and also just the fact that they're divisional games in general. I mean, that goes for every team. Like, they all have probably the same or more amount of divisional games left, but like when you're talking about the NFC West, that's a bigger deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we kind of talked about the idea of all of them getting in, but I don't think it's going to happen. The playoffs, that is.
I can see 3 out of the 4 making it,
Yeah.
but not just because of how like Seahawks started. It's just not looking like they're going to make it in.
Yeah, I mean, in conference teams or just like divisional games, like those are big tiebreakers when it comes to wild card teams going into the playoffs. So like we're talking about a team maybe like, I don't know, who could also be another Panthers in the NFC South, who likely aren't going to win the division, but like they'll be in play for the wild card. Like the fact that they get to play the Saints, who are kind of struggling every now and then, and the Falcons, who I feel like the Panthers will have their number this year. Like that's going to boost their odds of getting through wild card, because that plays in favor of like in conference games, which is a tiebreaker for the wild card teams. So
Yeah.
it's just going to be very hard for the Seahawks at this point. They did still win the first one though against San Francisco. San Francisco has a quarterback thing to work out as well, so they're also kind of in that area of like, oh, you got to figure out your stuff now, because you know you're going to have one of the tougher schedules in the league.
So I guess we can move on. Oh wait, the Russell Wilson, he got injured.
Right.
This game.
I don't know how big that injury is. I know it's a finger, though, right?
I believe so. For some reason, if it's only a finger, then I'm confused in what I'm about to say. But I heard rumors that he could be out for the entire season.
Wild.
Question
It
mark.
must have been a terrible.
Yeah, and he like started every game since he came into the league. I believe he had a pretty long streak. He was up there with games started in a row without like missing one. He was up there with like Eli Manning, Brett Favre, and stuff. But it's crazy how many starts Eli Manning and Brett Favre had in a row, because I believe that Wilson had like 130 games started in a row, and Eli Manning and Brett Favre are in like the 240, 230 range games played in a row, which is absolutely crazy that they were able to stay healthy for that long and just not miss a singular game. But let's move on to the New York Jets. And
I found something saying that he had surgery on the middle finger of his right throwing hand. A couple of screws were inserted. This is an injury that could take 4 to 6 weeks or even 6 to 8.
Dang.
But some people think he could be back in less time.
Oh, that's good. So I don't know where I got the season-ending injury from. I guess let's move on to the Atlanta Falcons and New York Jets. This was a shit fest and basically was determining who's at the bottom of the absolute bottom at the league.
No.
Are you what?
No.
No? You think Falcons are legit?
No, I don't think any of them are legit.
Yeah.
But bottom of the league, you still have some bottom tier teams that, like, not only are like below them, but like they're tiers below them.
Oh, really?
I think. I mean, Texans
Jaguars.
and Lions
Yeah.
and Jaguars, to name a few.
Oh, okay.
I think Atlanta and Jets are trending in the right direction. I mean, yeah, they're both playing each other, so it makes themselves look better. But honestly, I felt like they looked like Zach Wilson looked very comfortable in his scheme, and I don't know. Falcons are now on a 2-win streak, right? Like those are good signs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I look at Houston. I'm just like, yeah, no way. Even Miami right now, they've been terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Miami has been playing worse than the Jets in Atlanta these past 2 games at least.
So I guess there would be like mid-20s to lower 20s for like the power ranking stands.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's basically what that game was. We got Minnesota and versus Detroit. This was way too close of a game. Detroit, the past 2 games have made it very close between the Ravens and the Vikings this past game. They've made it very close games, nail-biting. I mean, it took the Ravens a 66-yard field goal to beat them a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, it doesn't really mean much, but I guess a little tough luck on Detroit's end, but they're still bad.
That was crazy. That whole fucking sequence.
Yeah.
Where they could have just tied in, went to overtime, but they went for the 2-point conversion and got it. I was so surprised by that. And I was like, wow, I mean, when you're down 0-4, sometimes you just got to be like, we want to win that bad. But then, I mean, yeah, Minnesota offense is hard to stop when it's like that. And they just got so many I mean, at the end of the game, defense is gassed out, and offense just has that extra adrenaline because they know they just got to get a field goal to win the game. I don't know. Like, I feel like for some reason, I always feel like the offense is favored in those situations. Like, especially at the end of the game, I feel like defense gets gassed out a bit more.
Yeah.
Especially like pass rush. Like, offensive linemen are always going to be in better shape than defensive linemen towards the end of the game.
I agree. And a little side note, but did you know that this weekend with all the teams, it broke a record for most missed field goals in a weekend, and it was like 20 or like 22 missed field goals for a weekend of football. And I don't think that was taking in consideration of the Monday night game, so it was even more missed field goals as well. So it was a crazy couple days for football with just missing left and right.
Pat McAfee would say not good for the brand.
Yeah, not good at all. And then next game is Washington football versus the New Orleans Saints, and Washington's defense is not living up to the hype that it was at the beginning of this season.
Yeah, Chase Young. Did I have him somewhere? Yeah, I had him Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He has not been looking like his rookie self. which is weird. I don't know. Like it's really sad. I didn't really watch much of this game. I just know that Jameis Winston there's no way Jameis Winston is playing to a level that should dominate a defense that has been hyped up this much as Washington has. I mean, just looking at Jameis Winston's stats, like they're pretty underwhelming considering how much they're scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So it really makes you wonder, like, how bad are the defenses they're playing, or how good is their defense to give them the better field position in general, you know?
Yeah, and I was just about to say, I wonder if he eclipsed 200 yards passing for this season, but he had 279 yards against Washington and then 226 against the Giants. But for the first 3 games, he had 148, 111, and then 128 yards passing for those 3 games, which is so insanely low that, like, for a quarterback to have. Like, fucking Derrick Henry is rushing more than the first, like, game, those first, like, 3-game stretch. Like, that's absolutely insane. Like, what kind of field position are they getting where he can, like, score 5 touchdowns in his first games with 148 yards and then 279 for 4 touchdowns? Like, that's insane.
That is just insane.
I hate you.
What?
Wait, who the fuck? Oh, no, never mind. I thought you were making a pun of, like, with Justin, like, the name, but then I was like, my brain was trying to compete. I'm like, who the fuck is named Justin on these, like, 2
My God.
teams?
That
Houston
is
versus...
just insane. I see where you thought that.
Because, like, you were emphasizing it.
Right. Houston, New England. I'm doing this eliminator challenge thing on ESPN. It's like a fantasy game where each week you choose a team that you think is definitely going to win against their matchup, and then at any point in the season that you're wrong, you're eliminated from contention, and you can only choose one team one time per season. And this week I tested out something. I'm like, I'm just going to choose New England because they're playing Houston, and maybe going forward I'll just choose any team that plays Houston. And it got close, though. 22-25. Houston had some pretty explosive plays. The spirit is still there for Houston. New England just capped it off. They were able to finish it.
Yeah. A little side note, it's kind of weird that we had 2 scores of 25-22. We got this game, and then you got the Green Bay Packers versus Cincinnati having the 2 of the same scores. And it's like an odd score as well. It's not like a common score.
There was a point on Sunday where there were 3 different teams with the score 22-22.
Really? Wait, who was the third?
I don't know. There was another, but
because I don't even remember the 2.
it could have been New Orleans. Could have been. That's it.
Yeah. So it's probably New Orleans, but yeah. Not much else to say. I didn't watch this game. Miami versus Tampa Bay. Yeah, Miami's not looking so good, which is good for the Eagles because worse that the Dolphins do, the higher draft pick that the Eagles get. But
what trade did you guys do?
I forget, but we have like Miami's like first round pick. I forget the exact trade.
Well, yeah, I know that, but what did Miami get?
I don't know. Like, did we give? Like,
was it part of the trade up?
Oh, it probably was.
You traded up
Oh yeah.
in the draft. And they traded back.
Wait, no. If they traded back, then we would, like, why would they give us their first round pick to go back?
They had multiple first round picks.
Oh, okay.
And so they were able to give up that position and go back. I think it was just a whole draft, like, pick swap.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, but like you were saying earlier, Miami's not doing so well, but it was kind of shocking because without a quarterback, they're shit. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, I guess there's not really much to say. Oh, Tom Brady had like such a crazy game. He had like 400 plus yards passing and 5 touchdowns. Like, he's having an MVP season and he's like fucking 500 years old. He's a dinosaur. Like, how is he still having MVP seasons at the age of like 44 or 43?
No,
he's
yeah,
44.
he is he torched it up in that game. So Miami moved up, Eagles moved back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got the order wrong, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was Miami acquiring number 6 overall and the 5th round pick for Eagles going back to 12 and a 4th-round pick and a 2022 first-round pick, like we've been talking about.
Okay, that
So,
makes
yeah.
sense. Because I was trying to think, like, who the fuck did we trade over to the Dolphins to make that happen?
Because they really wanted Waddle, who I don't know if they've been doing well or not, but
Like, why would they want Waddle out of all?
I mean, he has always been the top wide receiver in the class. It's just injury that kind of made things a bit more interesting since Devontae Smith had a Heisman year.
Yeah.
But Waddle was always like the clear favorite
Mhm.
before that.
Oh, okay. So we got Green Bay Packers for Cincinnati. The amount of missed field goals in this game is crazy. I think Crosby missed like three field goals in the span of like 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes or something crazy like that. And then like McPherson missed one. It was just so many chances to seal the game, but the kickers just couldn't do it.
Crosby, you're better than that.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Also, McPherson thought it went in and they were celebrating.
I saw that like before this podcast. I was watching a TikTok and I saw that. I'm like, oh my god! Like the amount of embarrassment. I would have just retired.
Yeah.
I would have just retired there after that.
Did we mention how bad of a week I had?
Predicting.
Predictions?
No.
I had a bad week. I only
Yeah.
went 50%, which is not good. Caleb did better, and now he's leading in predictions. A week really changed it.
Yeah, I didn't think that like from how we did last year. I didn't think that I could like rebound this fast.
Yeah,
Like-
because I was up 3, and then you brought it down to 2 last week, and then you beat me by 3 whole games.
That's insane.
Because we had a lot of disputes, and I lost a lot of them,
Yeah.
mainly in the later slots. The morning I went 2-1.
Yeah.
Speaking of, one of them was Pittsburgh-Denver, and I said Pittsburgh would win, and Caleb said Denver would win. He still doesn't know why he chose Denver.
Looking back at it, I'm like, why did I do that? Like, the first thing I said when you told me that, I'm like, why did I ever do that? Like, I was so confused because I forgot that I picked Denver. I'm like, what brought me to the point in picking Denver? I mean, I didn't watch this game. Pittsburgh kind of had control over most of it. It was kind of sad because it was Trey's birthday, and they lost on his birthday, which
And
is
he
kind of sad.
hates the Steelers.
Yeah. Fuck the Steelers, though. But, like, that's kind of sad.
Oh, man, that's the worst.
And then kind of a foreshadowing the next games that we're going to go over. But he was telling me, because it was kind of weird because Pittsburgh and Denver and Philly and Panthers were kind of having similar games at one point where it was just like a couple point differences. But he was like telling me that, and he was like, yo, we're both going to come back. Like, watch. And only one team did, and it was the Eagles. Which, we got Philadelphia Eagles versus Carolina Panthers. And let's just say that my reverse psychology worked.
Oh, my God.
It worked again.
Yeah, it did work. Because I chose Philadelphia. I had confidence that they'd be able to do it. Because I didn't think Carolina was amazing from what I've seen. And they were still without McCaffrey.
Yeah, wait, is he coming back this weekend?
They always say that he might. And then
That's annoying.
past 2 weeks, it hasn't been that way. So
I picked up their defense. What are your thoughts? They've been like averaging like 12 points per game.
you traded both of your defenses.
Yeah, I did so much work.
Why'd you pick up Eagles?
Because they're so fucking good. And then I looked at their schedule.
Okay, they had one good game.
No, but like,
And they had -3 against Kansas.
look, my thought process is that
How do you have
the schedule for the Eagles, like they play the Jets. Hold on, they play the Jets. They play the Giants. They play Washington.
Watch them get torched by all of
Like, if that happens, I'm just going to retire. Like at that point, like why even?
them. Panthers does look good. They've had 4 double-digit games. That was just the one that was -6. That was rough. Average 9.3 points.
Yeah. So.
But if you take the median, like I think you should in these scenarios, you got 10.
So it works out.
No, you don't.
No.
You have 13.
Damn. See? Maybe I don't know if they can actually continue that for the rest of the season, but so Philly, Panthers, I'm not going to talk on it because I just uploaded a recap video like a few moments ago, so we don't need to go over it that much. Philly came back, surprisingly, it was a garbage game by both ends. It's just a shitty showcase, but I'm just happy that they were able to come back. Jalen Hurts looked great in the fourth quarter. and it showed that they can come back. So, next game, Tennessee Titans versus Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville's bad. What do you want me to say about that? I don't think Tennessee is like that great of a team, but Jacksonville is bad. I mean, Derrick Henry is just gonna run all over them. I don't know any player on that team that would stand a chance. If like Derrick Henry's coming at them, they just fold over.
Yeah.
Just give it up.
Yeah.
Save your energy for the next play.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That's crazy that one player has that impact.
Anyways,
There's not.
Do you really want to talk about this?
No,
I don't.
like other than James Robinson like popping off on my fantasy.
Oh yeah, I mean James Rob.
Yeah, the only bright side to that organization, I guess, other than Lawrence, but still.
I mean, has he proven that yet?
Yeah.
He could be the biggest bust of all time.
It could be.
Could you imagine?
If he busted, that might be worse than the Russell bust. Did you heard about him? Marcus Russell, I think. He played for it was a little while ago, but he had like he was like a really good quarterback entering the league, kind of like Trevor Lawrence, and he just did shit. And there was this moment where the offensive coordinator gave him the playbook and be like review these plays this weekend and come back like in practice so that we can like do them. He went back during the weekend. He came back and the coach asked, "Hey, did you read like the gameplay? Like, how is it?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's great. Like, I read it and stuff." Nothing on the playbook. There was absolutely nothing on the playbook. He did not study a single play while like on the Raiders.
Man, he's from Alabama.
Yeah.
But he's from the bad part of Alabama, so
Okay.
makes sense to me.
Auburn.
No, Mobile.
Oh.
The more south you go in Alabama, it's just the worse it gets.
All right,
and that's all the way down.
Oof. I want to reset the camera.
Cleveland, Los Angeles.
Sorry.
Don't cut me off ever again. Cleveland, Los Angeles.
We're recording a podcast.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Bye, podcast.
You did not just
Bye.
fucking do that.
How rude. Hi.
Denver lost. Cleveland, Los Angeles.
Yeah. Wait, what was it? Cleveland.
I said Denver lost.
Yeah.
Just to,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was.
Cleveland, Los Angeles. I'm gonna say that again. I will not get cut off.
How many times have you been cut off in the span of 2 seconds?
The worst thing that's ever happened to me. This was a great game from both teams because I think both defenses are pretty good. Okay, for both offenses, I should say, because both defenses got exposed, I guess. But both offenses really proved that they're legit. And I wasn't sure if Baker Mayfield could lead a legit offense, and he did well.
Yeah.
I think the running game definitely like bailed him out a bit at times, but whatever. Whereas Justin Herbert, he was just the passer he needed to be.
Yeah.
Mike Williams made that beat.
Did you start him?
I did not.
The fuck?
I just have so many good players.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard. I benched Najee and Mike Williams,
Yeah.
but like the thing is, all my players are good.
Yeah, like you still fucking scored like 140 points.
At least
or
all my
whatever.
like flex players are good.
Yeah.
The players that didn't do good were the non-flex people. Kyler Murray, Cole's defense, and then Rodrigo Blankenship, my kicker. But we're not talking about fantasy right now. We're talking about this game where people are now saying Chargers might be the best team in the league.
Really? Not even the Cardinals?
Not even the Cardinals.
Damn.
I think power rankings have Cardinals up there with the Bills and Chargers. Not in that order, but I think ESPN had Buffalo above all.
Dang. So yeah, a very great game. 89 total points scored. That's probably, I don't know what's the most like amount of points scored in an NFL game.
105.
105.
I don't know.
I thought that was serious. God, you set me up for failure, Titus.
Let's find out. Most points scored NFL
Total points, because it's like 7.
game 72-41. 113 points. I was
That's
8
crazy.
off.
That's crazy. Good job, Titus. But yeah,
Guess the teams.
wait, Washington and Giants.
You saw it.
Was it actually?
You saw it.
I had to. I had to gather that up in the deepest of vaults in my head. My deepest of darkest
You fucking saw.
Because I think I remember seeing this stat. Is it actually? Or
You
are you just...
fucking saw.
Is it? I don't know if I should believe you or not.
You can look it up, but you saw it. I'm
Yeah.
convinced you didn't cheat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm convinced you did cheat.
I didn't. You can like look at my tabs
Shut the
now.
fuck up.
Shut the fuck
You
up.
went in incognito and you closed it. There's nothing I can do to check now. Las Vegas, Chicago. Las Vegas, oof. I mean, Derek Carr was playing through an injury. Or he got shaken up at some point. I don't know. It didn't look great, though. Everyone was kneeling around him. But he got up. He did. He wasn't carted off or anything.
Oh, that's good.
Justin Fields and... No,
Wait.
not even Justin Fields. Just David Montgomery did really well.
Yeah. Then he got hurt. Wait, is that what you said earlier? Wait, who did you say that got hurt? I'm sorry.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. Derek Carr got hurt? Oh, no.
I don't know. People were thinking maybe he got a concussion.
Oh, okay.
But then he played through the rest of the game.
Oh, okay. So he's not hurt. Okay, good. But, yeah, David Montgomery, scary dude. He's a very, very scary dude.
Yeah. I've been kind of looking at Sophia's team for a while. Just like, maybe I should trade for him. But I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah. I picked up their... Because Montgomery's on IR for a couple of weeks, or for a few weeks. So I picked up their second string quarter or running back because he got like 16 points. So maybe he'll do well.
You should pick up Andy Dalton.
Okay. But I didn't watch this game, but it's just Raiders are a shit fest, and there's not much to say other than that.
They had one really bad game. Was their last loss that bad? I don't think so. It was Chargers, Vegas 28-14. It really wasn't, like, watching it, it really wasn't that bad of a game.
Yeah, but still, how do you lose to the Bears by
True. No, you're right.
11 points?
You're right.
By, like, that's 2 possessions. Like, how do you do that?
Inexcusable. I agree.
Yeah. Arizona Cardinals versus San Fran, 17-10.
Weirdly low-scoring game, which bodes well for the Arizona defense that has been kind of inconsistent throughout the season. We already know San Francisco defense is pretty legit. Doesn't bode well for Trey Lance's first full game played. He made some weird mistakes for sure, but you know, that happens. He'll do better, I'm sure. And Kyler Murray did not have his best game, but what can you do?
He's bound not to have an MVP game every single game of the season. Like, if you can do that, that's pretty impressive. But yeah,
I've done it.
Arizona is still undefeated, the only undefeated team. They played really good teams so far, and they've proven that they're really good. So we got the Giants versus Dallas. The Giants lost by 24 points, and this is making Dallas really, really scary, and it's really concerning.
Really? Does it? Because it's the Giants.
Yeah, but like they beat the Eagles by, I guess the Eagles aren't saying much either, but like.
Need I say more, Caleb?
Yeah. But still, the Cowboys are 4-1, and I don't like the fact that the Cowboys are 4-1. Let me see the other team.
Okay, they beat Chargers. Yeah.
Yeah, 20, and they almost beat the Bucks too. So they're looking really scary. And they beat the Panthers. Not saying much, but they're putting up a shit ton of points. Like,
you know what? Fine. Yeah, I'll give it to them.
Like
I think yeah, their offense has been looking really good. Dalton Schultz even coming to the forefront in fantasy. Even I picked him up after Kittle and Logan Thomas died. I guess I don't know what happened to them. Ezekiel Elliott's been looking good too.
Yeah.
Even Tony Pollard's been playing well with the snaps he's gotten. So
yeah, that offensive line is just so good that everyone can play well.
Just imagine if that one guard was playing against the Bucks.
Zaki Poo.
Zaki Poo, yeah. Imagine if he was playing against the Bucks.
Yeah, they probably would have won. Like I hate the fact, because this is like reminding me of the Eagles Super Bowl season, and the Cowboys scored 170 points and have 112 against them. Like, that margin's crazy.
What?
Like, they scored 170 points, and points against is like 111.
That's crazy low.
Yeah.
On both sides.
170 points is not low for 5 games.
5 games?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
are you saying like right now?
Yeah, right now, like
this season. What did you say about the Super Bowl season?
Oh, I was just bad at transitioning. It was 2 separate thoughts.
Okay. I was like, during the Super Bowl season, they were like that. I was like,
no.
Through 16 games? I was like, what?
My bad just that my brain's just bad at transitioning between thoughts, so they like become one thought. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's what I meant.
When you can't handle two thoughts combined.
It's like fucking Kevin from The Office. Less words equals, or some shit like that.
No, I'm thinking of THOTS.
Yeah.
Can't handle two thoughts combined. Anyways,
Um.
enough of that.
Buffalo, Kansas City, I guess correctly. Buffalo absolutely destroyed Kansas City Chiefs, and I've been eyeing out that Kansas City Chiefs this entire season. I'm like, ain't no way. Buffalo's actually a good team, but ain't no way that Buffalo can't score 30 to 35 plus points against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Just
Buffalo defense surprised me. Now I know they're legit. I don't think Josh Allen has been playing that great, honestly.
He has a couple flashes, but I agree with you.
I think his team is built to really make him look good overall. I feel like that whole offense has been eaten well.
Yeah, because his completion percentage is absolutely shit.
I mean, yeah, look at MVP race. He really hasn't been passing that many yards overall compared to like some of the higher tier quarterbacks I have up here. When you think of Tom Brady, Kyler Murray even, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Lamar Jackson even has over 100 more yards total than him right now. And all of them have better completion percentage. In fact, once we go over the MVP race, I'll show you he's the most inaccurate quarterback on that list, including honorable mentions. Which is insane. But he hasn't been turning over the ball too much, so he's got that going for him. And he's a bit of a rushing threat, so.
I didn't realize that he was performing that low because, like, fantasy-wise, he's doing really, really well.
Oh, yeah, it's fantasy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know why I put two and two together. But Indy versus Baltimore, crazy game. Like we said earlier, we were talking about it. We were at that game, and RIP to you. I feel so bad. At one point,
I give up on the season now. I said that if they get 2-3, that's what I projected for the first 5 games of the season. So I didn't lose hope through the first 4 because they're still on pace to get 2-3.
Mm-hmm.
Now that they're 1-4, I'm like, all right, bench Wentz.
I don't want them to bench Wentz.
No, I know you don't. But I do. I say bench Wentz, at least for one game. We're about to play Houston. Let's do it. Let's bench Wentz for one game. See what happens.
Why? No, I don't want that. Like, okay,
And that way, if once we play the better teams and realize, oh yeah, we are still bad, like that way we have made progress in keeping our first round pick.
But I don't like.
Yeah, I know you don't want that.
But,
I
like,
know you don't want that, kid.
But that's like such a smart thing, and I hate the only reason why I'm like saying like I don't want it because it's like such a smart thing for them to do, and they're probably going to do it. I just like hate the fact that that's going to happen because
he's already hurt. He's playing through 2 sprained ankles and losing. Like, yes, he's playing better than we thought. I won't give him too much credit, but like, let the man heal so he can do better.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that he couldn't be doing better than this with 2 sprained ankles, Caleb.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And it just makes the defense look bad when we can't even score on drives that literally like set us up to score on. We have the worst red zone rate in the league. I don't know after this game. Maybe that statistics change. We did better. Ravens defense was not awake for the first half. I mean, it was a night game. So
yeah, it was a crazy game because the Ravens were down 22-3 at one point, and they came back all in like the fourth quarter basically.
It was basically entirely the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Which is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
You'd think that comeback would have started in the third quarter or something, but no.
Yeah. He literally witnessed history because Lamar Jackson had like 500 total yards, and he broke the
442.
I meant like rushing and stuff, like total. Total yards, but then he broke the Ravens single game record with 442 yards.
Passing,
passing. So we literally watched history, and like the fact that they were able to come back from that deficit was in fact insane. It seemed like a blur while watching it because it was just happening so fast.
And that leads me to the MVP race. Who did better? Who did worse? Who remained the same? Let's start with the honorable mentions. People that have been here since last week that really haven't gone anywhere, but still deserve to be mentioned. We have Jalen Hurts, Teddy Bridgewater, and Joe Burrow. What do they all have in common?
They should be called the MVPs. They suck.
Absolutely nothing. All three of these quarterbacks are sub 10 quarterbacks, all for different reasons. And let me walk you through it. Joe Burrow, what does he have? 3 wins. Whoop-de-doo. You still have 6 interceptions. You're not top 10. Get over it. Teddy Bridgewater, also 3 wins, but you only have 1 interception. Why are you so low? You have 7 touchdowns through 5 games. What? Come on, man. Just toss the rock a bit more, my guy. I don't know. I mean, he did get concussed, I guess. Maybe I should give him more credit. 1,180 yards. I mean, Derek Carr I can give an excuse for having 8 touchdowns because he's actually been passing a shit ton. But then there's Teddy Bridgewater who has low yards, low touchdowns, not even a lot of rushing yards. Fucking Tom Brady has at least 36.
Why do you have Teddy over Jalen, though?
I don't have anyone over anyone.
okay.
Do you see numbers next to your names, Caleb? On the
No.
left side, that is.
I was like, which way? Where do you want me to look?
Jalen Hurts, what can I say about Jalen Hurts? I mean, he does have the yards. Yes, he does. He has more yards than Joe Burrow and Teddy Bridgewater in both categories, passing and rushing. I mean, rushing, he actually has 256, 6 yards per carry. Great job. 68.9 completion percent. That's pretty good. No one really thought that about Jalen Hurts. Oh, he can be accurate. 10 touchdowns, that could be raised a bit more, but yeah, whatever. The only issue is he's 2-3, and that's not something I can excuse a lot of quarterbacks for. I only have 2 other quarterbacks on this list who are 2-3, but they actually have a legacy, and I feel like their teams are built to be able to succeed in the future, so they're not at this sort of record. Only issue with Jalen Hurts is I can very well imagine them remaining at this kind of record.
Mm.
I don't know what the equivalent would be, like 4-6 in however many weeks.
Yeah.
But, we'll get there when we get there. I think he has a chance to break top 10 at some point, but it's going to take something. I don't know.
Winning.
Yeah, it's going to take winning. That's one of the criteria, I guess. Other honorable mentions that weren't honorable mentions beforehand. Sam Darnold and Derek Carr both had ugly losses this past week. That both these guys were trending upwards. No one really saw them coming. Everyone was kind of surprised picking them up in fantasy and stuff like that. But this past week was rough. Sam Darnold went from three or 2 interceptions. Yeah, he had 3 interceptions through 4 weeks, and then got 3 interceptions in 1 game.
2 to Darius Slay.
Yeah,
Hell
two all to Darius Slay. Wow,
Yeah.
That's crazy. He hasn't been the most accurate. It's nothing to really complain about, I guess, but still, he hasn't scored a lot. He just doesn't really stand out in any category anymore, which is kind of sad.
Wait, what about, I guess, kind of rushing touchdowns, but...
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. I
But,
don't really... I just count touchdowns altogether because
Yeah.
whatever. Derek Carr, low touchdowns, 4 interceptions now. Pretty inaccurate passing, but he does have the second most passing yards. So that's why he's still on the list. And, he's winning as well, I guess. But you don't see me have Baker Mayfield on here just because he's winning,
Yeah.
So, Derek Carr, you're going to have to do a bit more to prove that you still deserve to be here, all right? You've
Yes,
moved
sir.
down just honorable mentions, so you're kind of sidelined for the moment. But, this guy was number 3 just 2 weeks ago. Just 2 weeks ago, he was number 3 on my list, and he took it for granted, man. How dare he? Anyways, number 10, Patrick Mahomes, 2-3. That's all I'm gonna say. Because Patrick Mahomes, if he wasn't 2-3, do you know where he'd be right now? He has 17 touchdowns, the most out of any quarterback.
That's crazy.
17.
Dang. The only thing that's, keeping him behind is those interceptions,
Yeah, the turnovers are pretty uncharacteristic alongside the losses. But then you have Russell Wilson, who's 2-3, and this is why he's above him, because he only has 1 interception.
Oh, he had his first turnover?
He
That's
did.
so
Yeah,
sad.
he did against those Rams. Yeah. Now, does he have anything overwhelming other than that? He only has 11 touchdowns. So do other people on this list. 1196 passing yards. It might have been more had he played that full game, but still kind of underwhelming regardless. 72% completion rate. Pretty good.
And now that he's injured, I can see the future that he's going to dip. Just
Right.
because he's out.
Yeah. I might have to keep him signed in honorable mentions if it's for too long. Like if he comes back after 2 weeks, then he still has a chance for MVP. Maybe I don't know. But best ability is availability.
Yes.
The most cliche thing I could have said for this MVP thing. But yeah, let's roll through these next ones. Aaron Rodgers, he's winning. I'm not gonna really complain about that. He's just not standing out at all in all the other categories. They're all pretty meh. I'm just like, come on, dude. Show that MVP toughness and explosiveness. You've just been winning, but scraping by against teams like the Bengals. What's up with that? Lamar Jackson at 7. What do I have to say about Lamar Jackson? I mean, he just led the biggest comeback in ages. That's why he's jumped up to number 7 for honorable mentions. Other quarterbacks on this list should look at Lamar Jackson and what he did.
Yes.
Because he was not looking great, I will say. Last week, he was at 6 touchdowns and 5 turnovers. But this week, he's done a bit better. He's now 10 touchdowns and 6 turnovers.
Yeah.
Not the best, but he's progressing.
Yes.
All right, Dak Prescott, number 6. He moved down a little. He was at number 3. He won his game.
Yeah.
I can't really complain about that. It's just like he hasn't really been showing too much otherwise. 5 turnovers, 13 touchdowns, 1368 passing yards. It's nothing super impressive, I guess. I honestly felt like I'd see him rushing more, but really haven't. I mean, it's the same amount as Sam Darnold. Even Russell Wilson has been rushing a bit more. Like, I just expected Dak Prescott to be moving a bit more if he was, like, fully healthy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Hella accurate, though, I will say. I think is the second most accurate on this list. So
Yes,
good on
sir.
him. Matthew Stafford, number 5. We're now in the top 5. Amazing start with the new team, but he's just not as explosive as the above 4. Just simply nothing really stands out. If you look at the colors on the TDTO and then the efficiency range, they're both kind of like dull colors, like white. Just kind of like, yeah, you're just doing enough, We need to be seeing more than enough to be the most valuable player, okay?
Yeah.
So who counts as being explosive more than Josh Allen, a guy who only has 62% completion rate, but still has 14 touchdowns, 1370 passing yards, 188 rushing yards, and only 3 turnovers? Like, that's kind of the stats that I'm kind of looking for. Just like a bit more scoring, like really getting the yards when it matters rather than just like scraping by. I need some explosiveness out of Matthew Stafford.
Excitement.
Same with Justin Herbert, honestly. He's not really standing out in any category, but he's one of the more well-rounded quarterbacks. Like, he's doing above average in just about every single one. 3 interceptions, we could work on that, I guess. Comparatively, like with Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, they have a bit less. Also, he could be more accurate, I would say, if he really wants to. I feel like that's one of the categories he could do better in, maybe. I don't know. Kyler Murray, he's undefeated and has the best completion rate in the league. So that's why he's number 2. So why would he not be number 1 with that in mind? And it's because Tom Brady has thrown for 16 touchdowns. Maybe not thrown. But I can't imagine him rushing.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
I'll fact check.
Yeah. And leads the league in passing yards. Passing Derek Carr. He now has 1,767 through 5 games. He's really had no interceptions since week 1. Because he had the 2 interceptions against the Cowboys, and now he's still at 2.
Mm-hmm.
He did have a fumble. Honestly, I'm at a loss for, like, the bad aspects of Tom Brady's game right now. Like, he's been playing great, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe completion percent, but, like, it's fine. 66. Like, 2/3 of your passes completed. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm done. What do you want to say?
One of them was a rushing touchdown.
All right, throw him for 15.
Yeah. But I'm like triple checking that because
Triple.
Because like I have confidence in your math.
Thank you.
But it says 15 on the stat line, like when you search it up, and that's like the first thing that pops up. So I'm just trying to dive a little bit deeper and look at his rushing. Rushing. Yeah, he had a singular rushing touchdown for 1 yard.
Now we will move on to week 6 predictions. I'm pretty confident about this one.
You are?
Yeah, I think I've been a bit wild, I wasn't really playing the lead, I had some wild picks the first 3 weeks that were really good.
Yeah.
And then I should have just played it safe. I should have coasted. But
Yeah.
instead, I continued being wild, and we had the most disputes we ever had last week.
Yeah, why were you so wild?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty confident about this week. And I'm starting it off right. Philadelphia versus Tampa Bay. I have Philadelphia, baby.
What? Yo, you had me in the first half there, Titus.
Why do I have
Yeah,
Philadelphia?
why the fuck do you have Philadelphia? What?
Because for some reason, and I don't know why this is. You should tell me, all right?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like at this point in the season, Philadelphia always has a primetime game where no one expects them to win,
Yeah,
and then they do.
I agree with you.
So why not let it be this one?
Yeah, you know, like, that frustrates me so much.
Frustrates me so mad.
But like, why do the Eagles do that year in, year out? Like, why can't they just be good, you know? When they beat that team, why can't they copy and paste that for every other game, you know? Like, why do they have to, like, beat one really good team and dip for the rest of the year? And, you know, I just don't see the Eagles, like, actually winning this game because it's Tampa Bay. 2, they got their MVP. The only, like, issue is that their defense is not really doing that good. I mean, they're still doing good, decent, but it's not as good as they were last year. Yeah. If the offense actually shows up and exploits that, and we have one of the best defenses, like pass defenses in the league, if we can kind of contain Tom Brady and force them to run, I that's the only way I can see them. But I just feel like I don't have enough faith in that offense, Eagles offense, to actually keep up with the Bucks.
London game. Jacksonville versus Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They've really been scheduling these well. Just having the worst teams play.
Why is that so true?
Like, this is even worse than Atlanta and New York.
Yes.
You're just, as I, told you, like, I think Jacksonville and Miami are below both those teams. And a lot of people are going to say Miami for this one, but I actually have Jaguars.
Why? What? Okay, Titus. Can we reel this in for a second? Are you are you okay?
I'm great, Caleb.
Dude, Titus. You were hyping me up. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, Titus, my man, he's going to actually, like, predict not, like, out of, like, the norm, you know? He's actually going to, like, reel it in. I believed you, but these 2 first picks, I don't believe you. What makes you think that your Jacksonville Jaguars can actually beat Miami? Like, what in what universe?
Who does Miami beat, Caleb? Tell me that.
I don't know.
New England.
Yeah. They're literally the best team in the league.
By 1 point. And New England scraped by who? The Texans.
Yeah.
And then Miami has lost every other game.
Yeah, but Jacksonville lost to Houston.
Okay.
They lost to Houston.
Okay.
That's quote-unquote the worst team.
Okay. Colts also lost to Jacksonville, the worst team last year. Jacksonville proceeded not to win any game.
Yeah, but
it's just one of those week 1 games, okay?
Yeah.
What can I say?
But, like, why? But you can't use that logic then.
Yes, I can.
No.
I'm just saying, like, Miami's one win
Oh, okay. It's not that good.
was, I mean, when you really look at it in the grand scheme, wasn't that great. Jacksonville's losses haven't been, I mean, let's look. They had, Houston aside, where can we find Jacksonville? All right.
I know that they lost to the Cardinals.
Right, they did.
Lost to the Broncos. Lost to Cincinnati.
Yeah, they lost to the Broncos. Okay, whatever.
And then lost to Cardinals. And lost to Tennessee. Bengals are...
It was really close against the Cardinals. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
How Kyler Murray was like, last year we would have lost that game?
Yeah.
All right. Jacksonville also, they had a close game with who?
Dude,
Cincinnati.
That's the only close game.
Prime time.
That's like
okay. It was actually very close with Tennessee towards the end, until the end.
Mm-hmm. That's so weird. The Cardinals and Titans game are eerily so similar. Like, Jacksonville scored 19 in both. They were in it for most of the game, and then Titans and Cardinals carried away. The only difference is that Titans has 37 points and Cardinals have 31 points.
All I'm saying is, like, if Jacksonville is going to get a win this season, this is their opportunity until like maybe the next Houston game. But I just feel like Jacksonville's bound to get just one pity sympathy win.
Stopped.
God damn it. Give them a one pity sympathy win. Miami, you got yours. Let Jacksonville get theirs.
I want the Miami to lose. Been preaching to the choir.
Yeah, I mean, Miami hasn't shown me anything that should tell me like, oh, I should predict them.
Yeah.
In any game. Neither has Jacksonville, but that's what I'm choosing between. It's like two teams I wouldn't want to predict them in any game. So it's like a coin flip. And right now I'm just going with Jacksonville because they're bound to get one pity win. Come on. And they're both teams are traveling all the way to London. Like, that's a coin toss in itself.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's probably the reason why they're sending shitty teams over to London.
All right, here's my first safe pick.
What? No, I don't believe you. You're probably going to have fucking the Bears. No, you're going to have the fucking Bears. Why are you having the Bears?
Aaron Rodgers always, for some reason, does great in Chicago.
But why are you picking the Bears?
I have Green Bay.
Okay. I was going to say, if you pick the Bears, I was going to flip the table. That would have probably been interesting for the podcast, but good thing that didn't happen.
You may not like this next pick.
Titus, my man. Titus. This is why, okay, now I'm starting to make sense why I was able to come back so fast. Last year, all year round, I had safe picks. I actually picked. I didn't have out there. And that's why I got such a big lead and you couldn't really come back last year. But this is how this is how I was able to come back so fast. I understand why I was able to come back so fast. Like, do you want to lose?
No, these are genuinely my picks.
Okay.
That being said,
Yep.
Detroit 0-5, Cincinnati 3-2. I have Detroit.
Oh my god. Okay.
Here's why.
Look.
I genuinely think Detroit hasn't been playing that bad.
Yeah.
Some games maybe. But just looking at that effort in Minnesota and then a couple of their first games this season, I was like, oh my god, like even the Manning brothers during that Monday night football game against Green Bay, I think it was, they're kind of hyping up Detroit. Like, you know what, they're going to do better than this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can see that. And honestly, maybe it's a pity thing as well. Like, after seeing that coach cry after Game 5, I was like, they're going to get their next one.
Yeah.
They need this next one. And I honestly think that Cincinnati is one of the fakest 3-2 teams alongside, like, Chicago. Like, I think Cincinnati will end with a losing record.
Damn, that's crazy. They were 3 and started 3-1. I guess a lot can change over the course of history, but honestly, I've been over dramatic a little bit because I feel like the more dramatic I am about some like a thing, that's usually when it bites me in the ass, like the New York Jets beating the Titans a couple weeks ago. So you're making at least you're making your case for each one. Like, if you weren't making a good case, then I'm like, you're insane. Mm-hmm. What, like, now you're going to fucking pick the Texans over the Colts or some shit like that?
Listen, man, I told you that
Titus.
It's bench one's time.
Titus.
I told you
Titus.
after those first 5 games,
Titus.
I'd make up my mind about how the season would go, right?
Titus. We're going to have like a... Okay, explain your case.
Bench Wentz or not, they're still winning this game, though. Because it's fucking Houston. They're garbage. And we just don't lose against Houston. And did you hear T.Y. Hilton?
Is coming back.
He may be coming back soon.
That's going to help.
And he always plays well against Houston, especially when he's playing in Houston Stadium. We're not playing in Houston Stadium yet. But still, I think it would be great if he came back against Houston and just fucking tore shit up.
That would be so cool. You gave me a little heart attack there, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know. I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah.
This next one, though.
We got the Rams.
It's literally just a game at this point. Like, did I go fucking crazy or not? What can I say about this game?
Rams are so much better than the Giants.
Oh yeah, I agree. But are Rams the type of team that are always going to win against even shittier teams?
Yes.
Are they really built to the point where we think that they're not going to lose to a bad team at any point in the season?
Yes.
Because weren't they the first team that the Jets won against last season?
Yeah, but this is a completely different
You're right.
team.
It's Matthew Stafford, baby.
Yeah.
Rams
Yeah,
are
baby.
winning. This next one, though.
This was actually a toss-up for me, not gonna lie.
This
I
isn't
know.
a toss-up.
I
Like,
know
I don't
it's-
care. I don't care how
Dude.
bad Chiefs have been doing.
Dude, it's Heineke. You have to take
Yeah,
in consideration it's Heineke. It's
Yeah.
Heineke. It's
No.
fucking Heineke.
You're right. It's Heineke.
He's-
That's why I have Washington. I'm joking. I have the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs. Just because they have to get the ball back rolling
Yeah.
at some point. Like
And-
at some point.
What a way to start with the depleting Washington football team's defense. Like,
Yeah.
good place to start. But you got Carolina versus Miami, or no, not Miami, Minnesota.
Yikes.
I got the Panthers. Oh wait, have I been saying who I don't think I've been saying.
Okay, going down the line, Caleb has Buccaneers, Miami, Green Bay, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Rams, and KC. All pretty safe picks.
Yeah, I got a little bit out towards the end.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah? Oh yeah,
A little bit.
I won't look ahead just for
Okay,
the
okay.
surprise factor.
Okay.
I have Minnesota actually.
Oh really?
I
Yeah,
do.
this was a toss up for me. Not
This
gonna lie.
honestly was a toss up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very confused about who to choose. I just feel like Sam Darnold's kind of trending downwards, and if Christian McCaffrey doesn't get back after all, they might be down bad. Whereas Minnesota has been thriving. Well, not thriving. They've been doing all right without Dalvin Cook. Madison has been doing great in
Yeah.
any game where he's had to start. I don't know. I have faith in Minnesota to be able to do this one.
Me too. And you got Chargers versus Baltimore. I got the Chargers because I had the Panthers last one, and then Chargers. It's just how the Colts started against the Baltimore, and kind of just the general vibe I've been getting from Baltimore. They get down fast, and kind of the comments I've been seeing on the reaction video. It's just I just feel like the Chargers are more of a capable team to actually close it out against the Baltimore, whereas some of these other teams that Baltimore played, and I think they're kind of bad, so they weren't able to close the game. So is it just because of how good Lamar has been?
I'm a Ravens fan now. After going to that first game and seeing all that shit, I'm a Ravens fan. They're gonna win the Super Bowl this year. If I have to choose a team that I'd be rooting for between Baltimore and Chargers, yeah, it would be Baltimore. And I don't know. I guess that sort of X factor really sealed the deal for me. I haven't seen the Chargers play a game where they've come from behind like that, I guess. Nothing super shocking coming out of them. They've been playing good the whole season, obviously. I mean, there's the shock factor of playing and beating Chiefs, but, having seen the Chiefs lose also the Raiders and Bills has kind of dumbed that down a little bit.
And the Chargers are in Baltimore, and let me just say that stadium is crazy, and how in love everyone is with the Ravens. It's just crazy. It's crazy to see. I never would have expected that out of the Ravens, to be honest. But it's just crazy to experience that, and I agree with you. I just found a new love for the Ravens.
I think Monday night is where Baltimore kicked off their campaign for actually being a legit team, because their other wins did not look good.
Yeah.
Honestly, other than beating
Chiefs.
I said the Raiders beat the Chiefs. That was the last year. It was Baltimore and Bills. So yeah.
And then next game we got Cleveland and Arizona. See, this is where I'm saying I'm getting. Damn it, you. Titus. Come on, let me have this one. Let me have this one. God damn it. So, what you guys can't see it, but what just happened is that we both picked Cleveland to beat Arizona Cardinals, and I was expecting him to pick the Arizona Cardinals, and that's why I said that I have a couple upsets towards the end of it, and you're going to be shocked. But fucking apparently, I guess not. I guess I should have known you would have fucking picked Cleveland.
I just feel like Arizona is going to lose at some point soon. I don't think they're the type of team that is going to have a huge streak of being on a winning rampage. Because Kyler Murray has had a couple of games that have been looking like, So, that's my philosophy. Cleveland played really well against the Chargers, and I just feel like Arizona is going to have a hard time with that, especially in an away game. Arizona's coming all the way from Arizona for this. So,
and I don't think Arizona is going to go undefeated. It's very hard to do, and I think this is the team that will give them the first loss. Then you got Denver versus LV. I got Denver.
All right. Yeah, this was I think this is one of your spicier ones.
Yeah. I think I was riding high on the Raiders because they were being really good teams to start.
Yeah.
They were 3-0, and I was riding on that train for a while. But then the past couple of games really made me realize that they're not that good of a team. And I know Denver is not as good. They're in the same boat, and I feel like they're worse or not really put together. But I just feel like I can feel the upset in my veins, and I'm like, I can't keep picking like the obvious ones. I have to kind of go out of the way because they're not. I feel like it's almost impossible for every single projected winner to win in a weekend. There has to be a couple upsets, and I'm choosing this one as my upset.
Yeah, I also think though, with Vegas is a coach resigning, it may not be so favored as you think.
Right.
Just because the coach resigned, man, that's the coach.
Yeah.
And in the league or sport where the coach probably matters the most. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
And just think about how ingrained like Gruden was in that sort of culture. Like
Everyone loved him. I mean, 10 years, $100 million contract
Jesus.
just for him to resign. And yeah, it's just crazy.
But I think a lot of people are gonna count Vegas out, honestly. But I think they'll get their shit together and at least beat Denver. I think Denver's a beatable team. So
Yeah, I just think it's because it's a new coach. It's hard for a new coach to start at the very beginning of the season, but let alone to start like kind of quarter way through.
yeah.
And then yeah, so we got Dallas versus New England Patriots. I picked Dallas, and I know I picked Dallas the last two games, and I know that I've been saying that I would never pick Dallas, but like I just want to beat you, to be honest.
Shame, know your name. You know what? Well, you get your fucking wish. If you want to beat me, this is how. All right? I chose New England. You can leave.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
If you want to leave and not hear my reasoning, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Bye.
Sure.
Why the hell did you pick New England? What made you come to this conclusion?
I came to this conclusion because, first of all, and this isn't my biggest point. I'm not leading with my biggest point. I think it'd be so funny.
Yes. Honestly, if you would have just left at that, I would have believed you. Like I would have just like, all right, I'm sold. I'm picking New England.
And I still think New England's defense has been really good. And like if all you have to do is get New England's offense rolling, and I think, they stand a chance.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they do. I think in every game New England will stand a chance just because of that defense and how good Belichick is. It just comes down to like what type of teams they're playing, and I feel like Dallas is definitely one of those teams where like they're exposable. Cuz especially like there's all these like high expectations right now, whereas like beforehand you didn't really have too much of that, but right now at 4-1 you're kind of like, "Oh shit, this could be the year." And they could just get caught off guard by one of these teams that are really well coached,
Yeah.
That's just kind of how I see it.
Yeah, I want the Patriots to win so fucking badly. This is like, I don't remember the last time I rooted for the Patriots this much. I guess other than the two giant Super Bowls.
I mean, think about it. Tampa Bay and their high-powered offense held to 19.
Yeah.
New England had 17.
That's pretty crazy.
And Tampa Bay has a better defense than Dallas does.
Yeah.
As was kind of proven in their matchup anyways. So.
Yeah, I just think that the Dallas offense is just too overpowered, and I think they're going to give way.
I mean, more than Tampa Bay, though.
Yeah. I honestly would believe that. Just because of their offensive line.
I disagree.
But, yeah, so little side note. So there's 4 buys. Wait, is there 2 buys this year, right?
No, there's 1.
Only 1 buy per team?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was 2. Never mind. But we got Seahawks versus Pittsburgh. I picked Seahawks. It's just I feel like they're more together than the Pittsburgh right now.
We agree for once.
There's so many fucking disputes. I don't remember last year having this many disputes in like a few
we
weeks
have 7.
span. Yeah.
7 this week.
That's crazy. I just think the Seahawks are more together than Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. Even with Geno Smith at quarterback. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I really think Geno's... Okay, let me get closer to the mic. I really think Geno Smith might tear it up against the Steelers.
Yeah.
Like, I can see it coming. There's going to be some sloppy gameplay all around, though, for a Sunday night game. But Geno Smith might just tear it. I mean, you have Lockett and DK Metcalf. Like, if you're a backup quarterback, how can you not be happy with that?
Yeah.
I mean, offensive line, maybe, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's not Steelers' offensive line.
Yeah, that makes sense. Everything you said, 100%. Then you got Buffalo versus Tennessee. I picked Buffalo. I feel like this is going to be a high-scoring game. I'm not going to lie. But I feel like everyone's expecting it to be kind of a high-scoring game when it's going to be...
I don't think it will be a high-scoring game.
Yeah.
I think Henry will primarily get the scoring going.
Damn.
I don't think Buffalo will be able to stop Henry, but they'll be able to stop... Well, maybe they'll limit him, but they'll be able to completely shut down the rest of the offense. I just have no faith in Tennessee. And at the same time, I'm biased because, like, why would I? I'm a Colts fan. But at the same time, I don't see Tennessee being that great. Honestly, I might have to start putting Derrick Henry in MVP conversation if they continue having a winning record.
Mm-hmm.
Looking as kind of sloppy as they have, because you haven't heard a peep out of A.J. Brown and Julio Jones all season.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they're 3-2, and their defense definitely isn't carrying them. No fucking way.
Let me just read the stats. So far, he has 142 attempts, 640 yards, 7 total touchdowns, 14 receptions in total. He has 4 straight games over 100 rushing yards. 3 out of those 4 games over 130 rushing yards. He has 2 3-touchdown games and 1 touchdown game. And he's averaging 3.4 yards per carry, averaging 28 attempts per game. Everything about that is absolutely insane. He's not human. I'm sorry for going off on Derrick Henry, but
no, it's fine.
I'm terrified in playing Brendan because he has Derrick Henry.
I'm kind of hoping Josh Allen during prime time doesn't do that well. Just so, because if they win this game and he doesn't really make any mistakes, he doesn't even have to be explosive or dominant. He just if he doesn't make any mistakes and they win this game, you just know every analyst on ESPN, everyone's going to be saying, "Oh, Josh Allen is the MVP front runner."
Yeah. Buffalo
best team in the league, and I'm not having it right now. I haven't seen that at all out of him.
Yeah, I think if Derrick Henry has a really good game, you should honestly put him in the top 10.
I'll put him in honorable mentions next week.
That's crazy that he's having that kind of season, and just because he's a running back, he's not even no one's talking about him. If a quarterback's playing like he is, I mean, obviously you gotta switch different stats, but it would be such an obvious number one. Mm-hmm. It would be MVP, this guy's an MVP, and then everyone else is just so far below him. It's absurd.
Well, that just about wraps that up.
Can we talk fantasy for 5 seconds?
You're allowed to talk fantasy. I cannot talk anymore.
Yeah. Wait. Okay, just quickly, cause I normally just put screenshots at the end, but I did do a lot of transactions, and I just want to quickly say that. But I just want to quick note, I'm 2-3 right now, 2-run streak, but I scored 161 points in our fantasy league. That's the first time ever, including last year, that I had the most points in our league, which is really exciting because this gave newfound faith for me because I was on a 3-loss streak, losing to Josh, only having 70 points lowest, so I was really down. But now I'm kind of making a rebound. I'm playing Brendan this weekend, which is really concerning because he's 5-0 in our league. So I made a bunch of little transactions, and I think you did too. I'm trying to find the last time I talked or said transactions because I'm trying to. Oh my God, so much. The fuck. Okay, so much has happened. So I'm just going to speedrun this, and after I speedrun this, then we can go. You added, I'm going all the way back to last week. You added Dalton Shorts. Sophia added Darson Knox, dropped Robbie Anderson. She then also dropped Juno Smith and picked up Mike Davis. I added Jake Elliott and dropped Tyson Williams. And then Titus dropped Logan Thomas and then added Jared Cook. And then Titus also dropped Myles Gaskin and added Alexander Madison. Brendan dropped Daniel Jones. I dropped Sterling Shepard, picked up Antonio Brown. Titus dropped Blankenship, added Nick Folk. Compton Criptrip added Cowboys defense. I dropped Dolphins defense, picked up Panthers defense. Then I dropped Robert Tonyan and picked up Hunter Henry. I added the Eagles defense, dropped Steelers defense, and then Titus added Michael Pittman, dropped Brandon Ayuk, and then I added Damian Williams and picked up Jamal Williams. I dropped 2 Williams and I added a Williams. I always gotta keep a Williams on my team. So that's all I got to say. Do you got anything to say or done?
You know those type of mornings where you're just like waking up sporadically?
Yeah.
Just like earlier than your alarm. I woke up at 8 a.m., immediately checked fantasy to see how my waivers did. And then I saw that you fucking took Antonio Brown, who I was trying to get. And I was like, fuck you, I'm adding my boy Michael Pittman.
You know what's so funny? You can see you can't see the team he's interested, but you can see someone's interested in the player. I saw that someone was interested in Antonio Brown. I knew it was you. Antonio Brown was like not on my priority list. I think he was at the bottom. I shifted it all the way up to the top because I knew that I had priority over you, and I snapped up Antonio Brown. I forgot that I told you that, but I just didn't want to tell you anything because I know. Well, like, there's nothing that you could do about that, like. But I just thought that was so fucking funny.
That's alright. Made me end up being loyal after all with Michael Pittman. After having to drop Hot Rod. Rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. So this was a really fucking long podcast. Let's end it here. Goodbye.